Hello, YouTube world. Today, or tonight, I like to say, I like to talk about delegates or super delegates. The reason I talk about delegates is because, looking at the primary election going on now between Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, and the other guy, Keanu, who the hell his name is, maybe I want to do this video about super delegates. Now, before I go too much further in this video, I want to tell you right now, this video I'm not promoting, endorsing, or criticizing any candidate at this time. I'm just talking about super delegates. And first of all, I'd like to start off that I heard Trump say that him and Bernie Sanders are getting screwed over by their own parties, which a lot of that is true. Because what I see him going on today, because take Bernie Sanders, okay? I'm not endorsing Bernie Sanders or am I criticizing Bernie Sanders? And it's an equal point here, straight up view of this. Now, Bernie Sanders, I look around, he's drawing crowds. He's drawing huge crowds. I think he's drawing bigger crowds than Hillary Clinton. But how come Hillary Clinton is getting more, I would say, the delegate vote than Bernie Sanders? And it kind of makes me wonder about this. Because now Hillary Clinton's playing the sexist card. The race card, this time it's the sexist card. Saying Bernie Sanders don't see a woman as president, that's why he's running for presidency. Okay, let's go on the other side of the aisle, to the Republican side, or the GOP side. Now Trump, what I've seen is staying pretty strong on the GOP side, giving Ted Cruz a run for his money. But I also saw on the news, this is the news, okay, now this tabloid news bullshit, but legit news, alright? Matter of fact, I go so far, I saw on MSNBC. I really don't like MSNBC, but I was eating lunch. I had no choice but to watch it. But I saw something kind of glimpse my eye a little bit, where my home state, Indiana, Governor Mike, we'll say my home state, Indiana, and they said they're going to choose delegates who will not vote for Trump in Indiana, which they're going to make sure, well, I believe that Ted Cruz will win Indiana. And to me, that is very much wrong. If the people on the GOP side wants Ted Cruz to be the front runner of the GOP, then so, not Ted Cruz, I'm sorry, but if people on the GOP side wants Ted Cruz, I would say this, or even Donald Trump to be the front runner, then so be it. It should be decided by the super delegates, or the delegates, I would say. Because it seems to me the delegates are going to choose who's going to be the primary runner of presidency on each party, Democrat or Republican. And I stated this for it in the past, I'm going to state it again too. Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, their biggest problem is they haven't really, I believe, stayed true to their parties. Bernie Sanders served as senator for several years as an independent. He leaned towards the Democrat side, I would say liberal side, but never served as a Democrat in the U.S. Senate, only as an independent. Donald Trump never really served in public office whatsoever. And he never really remained truly faithful, I believe, in the Republican Party. And both parties want their front runners to be totally supported to their party. Hillary Clinton showed a lot of support in the Democrat Party in the past. And I'm pretty sure that Ted Cruz showed a lot of support in the Republican Party in the past. So what Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders' problem they're having is they're not getting the votes they needed. I believe they're getting the votes that they needed, but the delegates are sidetracking them, like especially on the Democrat side. The delegates are making that Hillary Clinton's winning the nomination, and I kind of question that. Because for a while, Bernie Sanders was really giving Hillary Clinton a run for money. He was taking state after state after state after state. But all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, she's winning. And on the GOP side, Ted Cruz pulled a miracle and won Wisconsin. I found it interesting. And Indiana, my home state, or one of my home states, are trying their best to make sure Ted Cruz wins Indiana. And I believe that's wrong. The primary election should be decided by the super delegates, or even the delegates themselves. They should be decided by the people in general. I know the delegates were set up for a reason. And I'm going to put some description on these delegates in the description box as well. Give you a little more info about these delegates and what they're for. But I would say this, I'm on Perico here. Go way back in time when I was a kid, around I believe 1984, when Reagan was running for re-election, and I believe it was Walter Mondale, I believe, and had the first female. He chose a female as his running mate, Geraldine Ferraro, I believe her name is. And she totally supported the idea of having super delegates in the Democrat Party because she said that we should only put people on the front run of the Democrat side, the people who truly remain loyal to the Democrat Party, people who don't donate a lot of money to the Democrat Party, people who try to win seats in the House or the Senate for the Democrat Party. So she said we should only have people totally loyal to the Democrat Party as the front runner. And I question that. And I believe the GOP is doing the same thing themselves, only in a different strategy. Both parties have their own way of setting up their front runners, or their nomination, to be the front runners President of the United States every election year, throughout the college electoral vote. And I believe here was 270, the first one hits 270 electoral college votes, wins the presidency. But I'm seeing a setup here, because I believe both parties don't want Bernie Sanders or Donald Trump as a front runner. They don't want to get it, period. Yet, both these candidates, Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, are being screwed over by their own party. Because I believe somebody wants Hillary Clinton to get it, which Hillary Clinton does it, it'll be a sad day for America. I'm not saying a woman shouldn't be president of the United States, it just shouldn't be Hillary Clinton. And I really don't want to see Ted Cruz getting it. Seeing this guy, Ted Cruz, whose mother is Canadian, and I believe he was born in Canada, and when her mother signed his birth certificate, she signed it as a Canadian citizen. So I wonder if Ted Cruz is constituted eligible to run for presidency of the United States. Like we question Obama's eligibility, we need to question Ted Cruz's eligibility. Is he constitutionally liable to be our president, to run for president of the United States and be president of the United States? If he wins and Ted Cruz wins, it'll be a sad day for America. So these delegates here, looking at the news and stuff like that, especially when I see Indiana, and in Indiana, I believe Michael Pence said, the governor of Indiana said that we're going to choose delegates that will not vote for Donald Trump. I'm like, something's fishy going on here. Why would Michael Pence, the governor of Indiana, or Indiana in general, choose delegates that will not vote for Donald Trump as a front runner as president of the United States later on this year? And going back to the DNC side, the Democrat side, same scenario, damn near. So all this right here is being a big setup to keep Bernie Sanders or Donald Trump being the front runners. Because back in those little big old protests when they marched in Trump's campaign rally, they marched and disrupted everything else. And nobody on either side of the aisle, left or right, GOP or DNC, didn't criticize that. I did a video on that as well, called liberal terrorism. But right now, I'm not trashing liberals. I'm just wondering why did both sides call those people to task and tell them to stop. But enough on that. This is just out of hand. How come delegates are choosing who's going to be the front runner instead of the people? On the DNC, the Democrat side, I know they have people, registered Democrats, who only can vote on the Democrat side who's the front runner is going to be, who name should be on the ballot to run for president of the United States. Why has to be super delegates doing that? Now, delegates supposed to be tiebreakers. I believe this is more to it than just that. On either side of the aisle, DNC, GOP, Republicans, or Democrats, both sides of the aisle are playing this delegate game and using delegates to their advantage and making sure their boy or their girl will be the front runner as president of the United States later on this year, all the way up to November, of the first Tuesday of November of this year. It'd be very interesting how this plays out. Because to be honest with you, I'm not a Bernie Sanders supporter by no means. I call him a sexual deviant. But I want Bernie Sanders to be the front runner on the Democrat side. I really do. And I want Donald Trump to be the front runner on the GOP side. That's what I want to see happen. But people far more powerful than the average American are making sure that does not happen. The powerful people making sure Hillary Clinton be the front runner on the Democrat side, and Ted Cruz be the front runner on the Democrat side. That's what I'm seeing right now on this. And I did a little research on delegates, not an expert by no means, but I'm putting a description of what I've learned and seen about delegates. So YouTube world, we need to watch this and see what's going to happen with this. And we need to question the legitimacy of these delegates. Are they going by the voice of the people? Are they going by the voice by their own party? Are they going the voices by, I say, the elite rich folks to make sure they get the right person in the seat of the White House? Make sure the right person is the top runner of that party and make sure they get the seat in the White House to get 270 electoral college votes this November. This election has been very interesting to me and very exciting to me. You know, I thought back in 2008 was pretty exciting. This one tops that one, especially some of the mudslinging going around on the Democrat side and the Republican side. Both sides, Donald Trump and Hillary, Donald Trump is slinging the most mud here lately. I do admit that. He calmed down because pretty much had to calm down. But at the beginning, Donald Trump was slinging a lot of mud, telling how it is, and a lot of people like me respect him for it. Ted Cruz is just Ted Cruz. I don't like the guy. I never have liked him. Never will like Ted Cruz. Hillary Clinton, I think she's a crazy bitch. A crazy psycho bitch who thinks her shit doesn't stink. And Bernie Sanders, the man like Ed said, raping women. I really don't see him like him again because we'll go to more of a socialist system. So I'm picking Donald Trump, but at the same time, I am not endorsing Donald Trump in this video. I'm just telling you, the super delegates are going to probably screw the American people who they want as a front runner of the presidency of both parties, Democrat and Republican. Because I believe in my cold heart, right here in my heart, that the Democrats, well, the average Democrats back home, the simple ones, the college kids, the work and stuff like that, wants Bernie Sanders to be the front runner. Every person I met who's a Democrat, majority of them wants Bernie Sanders. On the GOP side, the Republican side, majority of them, people like me, want to see Donald Trump as the front runner. But what I've seen is a lot of people in Washington, around the United States, is going to make sure that doesn't happen. If that's so, we need to do something to change that. And don't go by the excuse of nothing you can do about it. Yes, there's something you can do about it. That means our electoral system needs to be overhauled and back more favor to the people than to the delegates and the super elite people, I like to call them. Well, YouTube world, enough of your time. Thank you for watching. Hope you found it interesting. And check the description box. I'm going to put something down there to explain a little bit more to you about delegates and electoral college votes. Thank you for watching. Have a good day, and bye-bye.